Good morning, everybody. My name is Tyler Bell. I'm a Public Information Officer for Peel Regional Police, and on behalf of Oxford Properties, I'd like to thank you all and welcome you here today at Square One Shopping Centre for today's press conference. We're here to announce the official results of a large-scale retail theft investigation conducted by the 11 Division Bear Team, which is our break, enter, and auto retail organized crime unit that was established in September of last year. Today you're going to hear from the following speakers. We have Nando Yanika, the original chair of our Police Services Board. We have Deputy Chief Marc Andrews, Community Policing and Operational Command. We have Detective Joe Cardi from 11 Division Criminal Investigations Bureau. Mr. Rui Rodriguez, Executive Advisor of Loss Prevention and Risk Management in the Retail Council of Canada. And last is His Worship, Patrick Brown, Mayor of the City of Brampton. Standing behind me here, you're going to see representatives from our 11 Division Command, Superintendent Josh Cawley. We have 11 Division investigators that make up the Bear unit, as well as our partners from the Oxford Property Security team here. I'd like to acknowledge Mr. Omar Khan, who's here from our Police Services Board, Councillor Hart, and Councillor Demarilla for being here. Thank you as you join us here for this important announcement. All of the content that's going to be shown today is going to be made available at the conclusion of the press conference and are downloadable in a media release, which will go live in just a few moments. Following the update, there's going to be an opportunity for questions at the microphone. Constable Sharma has that, and we'll get you through it. So we'll begin today with our chair, Nando. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much and welcome everybody. Well, I have the privilege of being the chair of the Police Services Board, and if you'll permit me, the first thing I'd like to start with is an acknowledgement that the fact that it's been a very tough few months in policing, and we've lost 5 officers who have given up their lives just recently across the province and the country. So just acknowledgement first and foremost, and a moment of silence in our own minds to thank those that pay the ultimate price, like these people behind me and out front, to keep us safe and protected. So I certainly wanted to make that acknowledgement first. On behalf of the Peel Police Services Board, I also want to acknowledge Chief Nishturiappa, the members of Peel Police Regional Services, our retail partners. A shout out to Oxford for hosting us here today. Thank you very much. And all those who have contributed to today's announcement. Today's announcement is a much more than talking just about recovering stolen property or laying charges. It's about protecting our communities, supporting local businesses, and maintaining public confidence in safety in Peel Region. Retail theft is not a victimless crime. It affects business owners, employees, consumers, and entire neighborhoods. Organized retail crime increases costs, threatens livelihoods, and too often serves as a revenue source for broader criminal elements. This is why the board fully supports a proactive, intelligence-led approach to addressing this growing challenge. As organized crime evolves, policing must evolve with it. The development of Bear Unit to include a dedicated force on organized retail crime reflects exactly that kind of strategic thinking. Our role as a Police Services Board is not to direct investigations or operational decisions. Our responsibility is to ensure the service has the governance, strategic direction, and resources necessary to deliver adequate and effective policing for the residents and businesses of Peel. Today's results demonstrate what is possible when those investments are matched with professional policing, strong partnerships, and a commitment to innovation. I also want to acknowledge the importance of collaboration. Organized retail crime cannot be addressed by policing alone. Success requires trusted partnerships with retailers, other police services, governments, and all community stakeholders. That collaborative approach is already producing meaningful results and will continue to be strengthened through initiatives such as Peel Retail's Organized Crime Conference later this year. On behalf of the board, I want to thank every member of Peel Regional Police involved in this work, the honorable heroes behind me. Thank you very, very much for your efforts on this and so many other files. Their professionalism, dedication, and committed help makes Peel a safer place to live, work, and do business. I also want to thank our retail partners for working alongside the service. We call them retail partners and businesses, but you've come to learn the majority of people who work in here are small business owners. It's a big mall. Oxford's a big organization and a great corporate citizen, by the way, in the 38 years that I've been involved. But at the end of the day, these are small business owners that you're affecting their livelihoods, their health and well-being, and we've got to step up for them as well. Public safety is a shared responsibility, and today's announcement reflects what can be accomplished when organizations work together towards a common goal. So with that, I'm now very pleased to turn it over to Deputy Chief Andrews, and thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for the introduction, Chair Anika. I want to take a moment to thank all our elected officials and guests who are here today. Your support and commitment to community safety and well-being is what allows our men and women to do their jobs on a daily basis. So thank you, Chair Anika, Mayor Brown, Vice Chair Khan, and Councillor Hart for being here today, and Councillor DeMerla. Thank you. I also want to recognize the folks from Oxford Properties who are hosting us at Square One. Mr. Stephen Gascoigne, Director and General Manager at Square One Shopping Centre. And I also want to acknowledge Rui Rodriguez from the Retail Council of Canada. Thank you for being here. Peel Police is proud to work with the Retail Council of Canada, Oxford Properties, and many organizations whose collaboration and support have been instrumental in strengthening our response in combating retail theft. The reality is, results like the ones we're announcing today do not occur in isolation. They are a product of strong partnerships and relentless effort. I'll leave the specifics of the investigation to Detective Cardi, but I will say that the sheer magnitude of the property recovered speaks volumes about the scale of what we're dealing with. This is not petty crime. A month ago, I announced the results of Project Filter, a retail theft investigation that saw over 500 charges laid, after $250,000 of merchandise was stolen. Today, through the hard work of the Women and Men at 11 Division, our break, enter, and auto and retail unit, also known as the Bear Unit, has recovered nearly $1 million worth of property. This crime has become endemic in our communities, and it demands a serious and coordinated response. We've all seen the videos circulating online, individuals walking into liquor stores, retail stores, jewelry stores, breaking cabinets, taking things off the shelves, and walking out as though there's no consequences. This is not a trend. This is not something that's done casually. This is theft, and it has real impacts on our businesses, our employees, and the communities we serve. Here in Peel, we won't tolerate it. So let me be crystal clear. If you choose to come to our region and commit these crimes, you should know this. We will use every available tool, every investigative method, and every partnership at our disposal to identify you. We will follow the evidence, we will connect the dots, and we will pursue you relentlessly. You will be caught, and you will be arrested. That's the response you're seeing here today. Behind the numbers are officers who dedicate long nights, hours of reviewing surveillance footage, doing the hard work to drive complex investigations that require search warrants, coordination, and precision that ensures we're targeting the right individuals at the right time. Our Bear Unit is doing just that. We launched the Bear Unit in September 2025 to fight break-and-enters and auto theft. But with more than 4,200 retail theft incidents in 11 Division and 12 Division, we moved fast, expanding its mandate to aggressively target retail crime. We're seeing the results in our numbers. Retail theft has remained consistent over the last 12 months, yet arrests and charges have increased by 30%. More arrests are being made, more charges are being laid. We're leading the charge to combat retail theft by bringing together our partners and working in tandem with our community and community stakeholders, but there's more work to be done. That's why this fall, Peel Regional Police is organizing a retail organized crime conference, bringing together law enforcement agencies, retail partners, and policymakers to advance a united approach to disrupt organized retail crime that is impacting our communities every single day. We're focused and we won't stop. Organized retail crime is not low-level theft. It is coordinated, it is deliberate, and it's harmful to our communities. And it impacts everyone from employers, employees, and consumers, which is why we'll be relentless by continuing to protect what matters to the residents of Peel. That is our commitment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy. Good morning, everyone. My name is Detective Joe Cardi from the 11th Division Break and Enter Auto and Bear Unit. In Peel, we know that as the Bear Unit. As a result of a commercial break and enter investigation targeting a retail store, Peel Regional Police has arrested a suspect and the recovery of a large amount of stolen property. On April 30th, 2026, at approximately 1:03 a.m., Peel Regional Police responded to a break and enter at Holt Renfrew located inside Square One shopping mall in Mississauga. Our investigation determined that the suspect gained access and forced entry into a retail store, stealing a large quantity of high-end merchandise. The suspect then fled the area using an unattended vehicle he stole nearby. Investigators from Bear Unit immediately began an extensive review of the surveillance footage from around the surrounding areas. Through detailed investigative work, surveillance analysis, and evidence gathering during the investigation, investigators identified the suspect as Amir Nikbakht. Following his identification, the Bear investigators conducted surveillance, and they developed an operational plan and resulted in the suspect being safely arrested without incident. As part of the investigation, officers executed the criminal code search warrant at the suspect's residence. The results, they were significant. Investigators recovered nearly $1 million worth of jewelry, lottery tickets, and other property. This investigation highlights the effectiveness of collaborative policing, strong partnerships with the retail community, and the relentless determination of investigators committed to holding offenders accountable. More than that, today's announcement sends a clear message to those involved in these types of crime that our investigators are committed to following every lead, every piece of evidence, and every connection until those responsible are identified and brought before the courts. Thank you. And right now I'd like to invite to the podium Rory Rodriguez. He's the Executive Advisor of Retail Council of Canada.
Thank you very much. I'll keep my comments brief. Great words have already been shared. Good morning. I want to thank Peel Regional Police for the invitation and to our honored guests here today with us. My name is Rory Rodriguez. I'm the lead national work on retail crime and organized retail crime across Canada through my involvement with Retail Council of Canada and retailers across this country who are in every community and employ over 2.2 million Canadians. Retail crime is not a petty theft, and that is a message that needs to be heard loud and clear. And it is certainly not a victimless crime, whether it's the individuals, employees, customers, and the businesses that are suffering from it. It puts frontline retail workers at risk, customers that go into our retail shops expecting to have a safe experience at risk. It fuels organized retail crime and other organized crime networks. We know this, we see it over and over again. And it definitely drives the cost for consumers and businesses in Canada. Across Canada, we are seeing increasing violence and threats against employees. Highly mobile, organized groups targeting multiple jurisdictions, taking advantage of the lack of our organization. Stolen goods that are being funneled into illicit marketplaces, pawn networks, cross-border channels, online channels. Repeat and prolific offenders cycling through the system with little deterrence. This is not a retail issue. It is a public safety issue, a community issue, and increasingly an organized crime issue. Collaboration matters. When police, is doing here today and what Peel is doing in this community is exactly what is needed across the country. Retailers can't solve this problem. Police can't solve it. Prosecutors can't solve it. It truly needs to be a community effort. And change is coming, and we're happy to see some of those changes that are coming. But it does take all of us working together, sharing intelligence, treating organized retail crime with the seriousness that it deserves. We are seeing strong momentum in parts of the country. Dedicated retail crime units, as Peel is setting up, that truly bring this to light and allows the focus to be shared. Joint force operations, where we can collaborate amongst police services, retailers, and prosecutors so that we don't have this revolving offender model. Improved intelligence sharing. The criminals prey upon our lack to share intelligence because of our privacy laws and constraints, and they take advantage of it. New prosecution models. The introduction of Bill C-14 is something we have advocated for years. It is now law. As of late June, it got its royal assent. Some key items that come with that law, like reverse onus, aggregated charges, sentencing guidelines. We now want the prosecutors using that to their advantage to make sure the revolving door of repeat offenders and organized groups see more severe consequences. But momentum is not enough. We need to see consistency. We need to see everybody collaborating, working together. And that's where we really look towards what is happening here to really be a model that others can follow. To meaningfully disrupt organized retail crime, Canada needs sustained, coordinated enforcement across all jurisdictions. We need prosecutors who understand organized retail crime and do not see it as a petty crime. Hence, you will not hear me say the words retail theft. It is retail crime that we want to focus on. Use of recent legislative tools has to be our advantage. We can't see bills being introduced and not being used when it applies to retail crime. Retail crime is serious, therefore Bill C-14 should be applied to those events. Integrated intelligence models are key. Jurisdictional issues get in the way. Criminals who offend in Halton, York, Peel, Toronto need to be tried in one jurisdiction for their crimes. When we treat ORC as organized crime, because that truly is what it is, we see retail results. Networks get dismantled, goods are recovered, communities are made safer. In closing, I want to thank Deputy Chief Marc Andrews for his great support and leadership with Peel Regional Police, Superintendent Joshua Colley and the officers on his unit and the great work that they are doing. Our Honourable Mayor, Patrick Brown, thank you for supporting and for being a leader amongst your community. We stand ready as partners. The retail community, in my 30 years, I have never seen want to come together and collaborate with law enforcement, with our governments, with our communities, because they truly employ the community. Retail is ready, and we thank the police services, the governments that are doing more to support the effort on retail crime. Thank you very much. With that, it is my honor to call up His Worship, the Honorable Patrick Brown.
Well, thank you, Rui, and I should say happy birthday. You know, I was going to say a good birthday gift. Not only did the Portugal team win last night, but now we have a major win against retail crime, and so can't think of a better way to celebrate this milestone. But I wanted to come here today to celebrate this great police investigative work, along with my colleagues from Regional Council, Councillor Demerla, Councillor Hart, and of course Chair Yanika. And I think we all truly believe that if you invest in policing, you give the police the tools to do their job, they've got an incredible capacity to handle any crime. And today it's a breakthrough against retail crime. And the scale of retail crime is what I found astonishing. You know, we see these viral videos of retail crime that really pierces people's sense of confidence in the safe communities that we treasure. But I understand $10 billion across Canada in retail crime. Think about that. The staggering consequence for businesses of that type of loss. In Peel Region, we've had over close to 10,000 incidents of retail crime. That's a tough pill for businesses to swallow as they struggle to operate. And really, when those videos get shared online and I see them in community Facebook groups or WhatsApp groups, the response that we get from residents is, where's the rule of law? Where's the consequence? Well, this is the consequence. If you think you can commit a retail crime in Peel Region, plan on booking a stay in a correctional facility, because the team at PRP is the best of the best. I have to say to Detective Cardi, to Deputy Chief Andrews, it gives us such confidence knowing that relentless dedication that Peel Regional Police have, and the team behind this unit, the Bear unit, on behalf of residents in Peel, to echo Chair Nika's remarks, thank you. It's said again and again, no matter the size of the crime, there's no one better at investigations than the Peel Regional Police, and this is yet another extraordinary example of great police work. And as the Chair said, in the broader context, that it's a tough time for policing, where we acknowledge the risks that policing faces every single day. They continue to take on difficult challenges and do so with an extraordinary ability. And so today is a celebration of a win against retail crime, a celebration of great police work, and really an acknowledgement of Chief Nish's leadership in expanding the Bear unit, recognizing that crime evolves. And for those that may think that retail theft is a victimless crime, do not mistake the fact that there are significant portions of retail crime that supports organized crime. It breeds other crime. It is a cancer in a community. And so today's win for public safety and a broader message that this is not tolerated here is wonderful news. And so the results speak for themselves. This represents not only a disruption of criminal activity, it's a clear message that organized crime will not find safe haven in Peel Region. They cannot and will not operate here. Congratulations to everyone involved in this investigation. You have made our residents proud and our region proud. Preventing crime requires collaboration. And of course, this effort involved a lot of collaboration with stakeholders in this sector. So today is a great day. All smiles here. Congratulations on yet another example of tremendous police work.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and an important highlight to encapsulate here from what's been discussed is we see that there's a $10 billion economic impact of retail theft that fuels organized crime across the country, as has been indicated. Here we have one investigation and one individual responsible for nearly $1 million of that, and the harm, it goes beyond this one investigation. It's the harm that this individual can bring upon the citizens here in Peel Region. So this is just the start of more great work. So having heard from all of our speakers today, I'll open it up to questions. Our Constable Sharma here has the microphone. Please indicate who your question is directed to and your outlet, and if we can please keep it to one question and a follow-up. Thank you.
I'm Greg Ross from CBC. This is for the detective. I wanted to talk about the fact that you found all of these other items in the residence. Were you able to trace them back to other retailers? Are there other incidents that you were able to identify?
Yes, thanks for the question. When we did the criminal code search warrant, we recovered approximately, I would say about 95%, maybe a little bit higher of the property from the break and enter. But we did recover a couple of other things. Like we found a lot of lotto tickets, approximately worth almost $10,000. And we're in the process of now trying to figure out where they belong to and if they are part of a criminal activity. So right now we're looking into that, see if there'll be more charges laid.
But some of the, like the jewelry, obviously that probably wasn't from Holt Renfrew. Are there jewelry, was he involved in smash and grabs or some of the other crimes that we heard about? People going in and just taking items off shelves and walking out? Somebody had mentioned that.
It's hard for us to say that right now because we recovered most of the property that was stolen. Those photos that you've seen, most of it comes from the break and enter. Yes, there is some jewelry that we haven't known where it's come from yet, and that's what our investigators are still working on. So we do anticipate more future charges, and I can't really comment if he's involved in these because right now we need to have the evidence first.
And just one last quick thing. He was obviously out on probation. Was he charged with similar crimes in the past?
Yes, he's been charged with similar crimes in the past. And one thing, I know you didn't ask this, but we arrested him on April 30th, and he's still in custody today.
For the detective, Steve Ryan, CP24. Is there an onus on people purchasing stolen property? Is there an onus on them to make sure that the property is not stolen? Number one. And is there a big market for it?
Not technicality, but then it's your ethics and morals. So we do have, and that's why it's important to have partnerships. Like right now, we're working with the partnerships with the community, partnerships with our Retail Council of Canada and Oxford Property here today. And the more partnerships you have, we do a better job in keeping it safe. So technically, no, you don't have to. You can get away with it, but if you get caught, you'll be charged with possession of stolen property.
And to the mayor, Mr. Mayor, can you just talk about your support for Peel Regional Police? It's been well received by the officers that I've spoken with. How important is that to provide them with the resources that they need to do the work?
I think Chair Anika would share this as well, that we appreciate the sacrifice that police make, and we want to make sure that when they run towards danger and confront crime, they know they have our unequivocal support. And we have heroes in policing, heroes in life, and just last week in a park in Brampton and a park in Mississauga were named after fallen officers, really to speak to what I believe is 99.9% of our residents have a tremendous appreciation for these heroes. And sometimes when a crime is committed, that makes the news. I'd love to see the great police work that happens every day to be as equally newsworthy. I think today is an example. It's great to have a turnout here because they do incredible work, and I just have endless admiration for anyone that goes into policing.
Hello, Beverly Andrews, City News. This is for the detective or the police chief. What kind of support or extra training are officers getting to deal with this sort of crimes?
Thank you for the question. Our officers are trained extensively to deal with the investigative aspects of the crime, but they're also trained in the whole concept of community safety and well-being, and the 4 pillars of community safety and well-being, which encompasses emergency response, risk mitigation, prevention, and community development. Those are all aspects that our officers, and in fact our entire organization, is sort of focused on how we build our strategy around. So as individuals, the officers are well trained, but as an organization, we have a philosophy that drives what we do. And you know, we say about our community, nothing without us. You know, our focus and emphasis on particular aspects of criminogenics are driven by our community and understanding our community. And this is a priority for our community. We talk about the $10 billion economic impact. You know, that's a lot of money. But as was said here, even though this is a big mall and Oxford Properties is a great partner, these are essentially all small businesses that are being impacted by this type of crime. And it not only affects the business people, it affects the employees who are residents of this community, and it impacts our consumers who are residents of this community.
Thank you. And for the Retail Council, what are some of the effects that, business owners have been reporting on themselves, not just financially, but with their customers and with their employees when they go through events like this?
Yeah, great question. So just to repeat, the impacts that businesses are seeing, it's a range. So one, recruiting people for retail becomes more difficult when the environment they work in becomes more violent. My daughters are 21 and 25. Both have worked in retail. It's meant to be a fun job, not a job where they have to worry about the person coming in harming them. That is a big impact. And we talk a lot about the safety, and that is truly one of the biggest issues. The losses are very difficult. Larger retailers can compensate for a while. Small independent businesses struggle. When you have break-ins, losses repeatedly, it's very difficult to be profitable, which means some people leave a community. And that could be the backbone of a community, whether it's a grocery shop or a pharmacy, because it's no longer sustainable, and or they can't make any money, or their employees just don't like working there. And when you're competing against a strong online market where consumers can get items delivered to their door, it also makes consumers think about, should I go there? Is it safe enough? I can just get it delivered to the door. So it is a monumental impact on our communities when we look at the impact of the violence. And again, I'm not talking about shoplifting. I've worked in retail for 30 years. Some of you may not remember Eden's. It actually used to be in this corner where I cut my teeth as a loss prevention investigator. Times have changed. Criminals have become more sophisticated, more violent, and our consequences have not been there for Canada. Therefore, they prey upon us. Therefore, the collaboration that's required. We need to send a strong message to criminals that there will be consequences. If you're a petty thief who steals for the first time, you don't need to spend time in jail. Hopefully, the community will teach you that that's wrong. But when you're a repetitive thief, when you are a violent thief, or you're organized and you're profiting from others, they need to get a message. And after the chances that they've been given, they need to see some severe jail time so they understand there are consequences. Hence why these efforts are so critical. And I commend what PL is doing, as well as some other police services across this country.
I just wanted to clarify a couple of things with the detective. I think you said that the majority of the items that were found were from Holt Renfrew in the residence. So approximately how much of the nearly $1 million was from Holt Renfrew?
It was a huge amount. I would say approximately $800,000 are from the break and enter.
From just one trip?
That's correct.
Wow. Did he have like a cargo train or no? I mean, it's not like, how do you do that? I mean, that seemed like, what were the items?
It was mostly jewelry, and that's why it's you've seen the high price tag.
Okay.
High-end jewelry.
And is there any reason to believe that there were others involved in this with him?
No, we believe that he acted alone, and he was. I'm 100% positive he was alone.
All right, thank you. That'll conclude all of the question portions. With respect to some of your questions of the property, there are some images that we've released in the media release today. They're downloadable as well. If you need them for our media partners, please get in touch with our office, as well as the full clip of today's conference will be uploaded to the Peel Police YouTube channel. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. Well done.